All right, I'm here with another video to help students with AP Chemistry and regular chemistry. This video is metric conversions. It's kind of funny, I said chemistry. This is something that you learn usually in math first, a long time ago. It's a very simple and quick, easy tool. I am going to assume that you are familiar with the metric system and the prefixes, but I am going to very briefly go over those prefixes. However, if you need more information, you're going to have to look elsewhere because I'm just going to show you how to do basic conversions. And I'm also only going to show you 3 methods. So it's not going to involve dimensional analysis or anything really too complicated. I'm actually going to show you 3 shortcut methods for doing metric conversions. I will apologize. I am still sick, so every now and then you're going to hear my voice start to get more annoying as usual with the who's texting me? Stop texting me. Speaking without the use of my nose. So, anyway, for metric conversions, what you need to know first off is, what do I mean by metric conversions? What we're talking about is a question like this. How many milligrams are in 2 kilograms? So you have a question where they're telling you, you got 2 kilos, 2 kilograms, that's your given. And we want to know how many milligrams you have in 2 keys. All right. So that's what I mean by metric conversion, that you have a metric unit, kilograms, and you have to convert it to something else, milligrams. The base unit here is grams. The prefix, we have kilo and milli. So hopefully you are familiar with what I mean by that when I say the base unit versus the prefix unit here, or the prefix for the unit. All right, so to remember all of your prefixes, hopefully you know those prefixes. If not, what I usually use is what I learned a long time ago, like in 2nd or 3rd grade, and that's the story of King Henry. And I don't know really who King Henry is, but I heard that he died basically drinking chocolate milk. He was lactose intolerant, and it led to his death, apparently. Okay, King Henry died basically drinking chocolate milk. Now that sentence will help you remember your prefixes, or at least the King Henry table as I call it. The first letter in each word represents what goes in the table. Here is the table. You have King Henry died basically drinking chocolate milk. So that's your kilo, hecto, deca, your base unit, which will be grams, liters, or meters most of the time. But if you know the SI system, there are other units that can go there. You can put seconds in there, candelas, whatever. Okay, ohms, whatever it is. Okay, but kilo, hecto, deca, then the base unit in the middle, and then you have deci, centi, and milli. So those are your prefixes. And so we use this table to convert between different units. Now there's 3 ways really quickly I'm going to show you to use this table though. And here are the 3 ways. 1, which is the hardest, we can use math. Math isn't hard, but just out of the 3, this one is the hardest. Well, do I even feel like doing this one? Yeah, I guess I'll show you really quick. So you have math, and then we have version 2 or trick 2, which I call the King Henry table. And then we have trick number 3, which is the easiest, and that's just decimal moving. All 3, I'm going to use the King Henry table, but I'll show you what I mean by version 2, which I call the King Henry table. All right, so 1, how do I use math to do metric conversions? How do I use math? Let's look back at the question. Let's look at a question. So we said, how many milligrams are in 2 kilograms? Well, if you're just going to use basic math, all you need to know is what's the relationship between milligrams and kilograms, okay? So if we go back to the King Henry table, King Henry died basically drinking chocolate milk. If you're looking at this table, how do we know what the relationship is between milligrams and kilograms? You're basically just looking at how far the 2 prefixes you care about are from each other. Milli and kilo. How far is the milli from kilo? Well, if I just put a 1 here in the kilo spot, 1 kilo, how many milligrams would that be? We're going to put in zeros in every spot all the way to milli. That's how many millis you need. 1 kilo, 1 kilo equals 1,000,000,001 million milli. Doesn't matter what you're talking about. Kilograms, 1 kilogram is 1 million milligrams. You're talking about liters, 1 kiloliter is 1 million milliliters. You're talking about meters, this is weird, kilometers. 1 kilometer is 1 million millimeters. 1 kilometer is 1 million millimeters. Okay? 1 kilo, 1 kilo jack squat is a million milli jack squats. All right, so that's how that is. So you would use this relationship and do your dimensional analysis or your fractions, proportions, whatever you would do for your math. You would use that relationship from the table to do your math. And I'm not going to go through that, okay? You should know how to do that. Now, what about the other 2 tricks? What do we have? Oh, I wrote on the wrong layer. All right, so the second method I call the King-Henry table, and you kind of got a preview of that when I was getting my relationship or my conversion factor between millimeters and kilometers or grams, whichever one that was I had. Okay, if I go back to the question and the table, this gets so confusing using all these layers. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Yes, I want that one. Take that off. Okay, we'll go with this one. And this one. Here we go. All right, so the question said, how many milligrams are in 2 kilograms? If I use the King-Henry table itself, what I would do is just write in the given information and move the decimal to where I'm trying to get to. What do I mean by that? Well, the question said how many milligrams you have in 2 kilograms. So we're going to write the given. I'm having 1,000 problems right now. We're going to write the given. The given we have is 2 kilos. So I'm going to go ahead and just write 2 in the kilo spot. Whatever number is in the ones place, that goes in the prefix. It needs to be whatever is in the ones place. That will go in your prefix spot. So 2, well, that's just the number 2, so that is the 1 spot. So we're going to put that in kilo. But if I had the number 21, the 1 is in the 1 spot. So the 1 would go in the kilo. Or where would the 2 go in? And 2 would go to the left. That is the mega spot, I do believe. That's because there's prefixes in front of kilo and there's prefixes behind milli as well, but that's beyond what we need to know for right now. Refer to your chemistry textbook or Wikipedia or whatever. So 2 kilograms. We're going to put 2 in for kilo, and we want to know how many milligrams are in 2 kilograms. Well, where's the decimal right now in the number 2? Well, the decimal is right there in the kilo spot, right behind the ones place. We're going to go ahead and move that decimal to the milli spot because that's where we want to go. So here's the new spot. There's the old spot, which is going to X that out. So now our new number has the ones place and that decimal in the milli spot. But the 2 is over here in the kilo. So what's going to go in between in the blank spots? Well, you guessed it, zeros. Zeros hold places. And there you go. And this is how many milligrams are in 2 kilograms. 2 kilos gets you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 milligrams is 2 kilograms. That's called the King-Henry table method. Notice that the math method referred us to the King Henry table, and we just got the basic relationship. And then you're supposed to do your own proportions or whatever it is you want to do. The King Henry table method, you're just going to use the actual King Henry died table and write in the information you have and then just move the decimal, okay? So you have to actually write the table out. Now, the third method is the easiest method. It is my favorite method. It is the method that I use the most. And if you learn how to do your math and you learn the King Henry table, then you can use the third method. You just want to make sure that you understand the background on stuff before you start abusing shortcuts. The third method I call decimal moving. We basically just did that. We're just going to do it outside of the table. Okay, so let's go back to the question and the table. So here's the question again. How many milligrams are in 2 kilograms? All right, so when it comes to decimal moving, you're just going to write the number you're supposed to convert. So we're supposed to convert 2 kilos to keys, 2 kilograms. So my question then is, if I'm going from kilo to milli, how many spaces is that in the table, in which direction? We're going from kilo to milli. So here's kilo and here is milli. To go from kilo to milli, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places to the right. So for decimal moving, do the same thing. The decimal's right behind the 2, so go 6 places to the right with the decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The new decimal goes here, so please X out the old one. I've seen people forget to do that, and they end up writing 2 decimals, and they act like that's okay. And I act like, anyway, put zeros in these empty spots. So there you go. 2 kilos is that many milligrams. Which one was the fastest and easiest method? Decimal moving. But can you do decimal moving without knowing the table? No. Can you use decimal moving without knowing how to plug things into the King Henry table? No. Okay, and you really shouldn't be doing any of this if you don't understand. You shouldn't do any of this if you don't understand the basic math behind it. But once you practice the first method and the second method and you get good with it, then start doing decimal moving as a speed thing. And that is that.